Now we have released a pack with Fortress Thuram, Visionary Pass, Chabi Alonso, and an Anchorman Patrick Vieira. So today we're going to take a look at the best builds of the cards, what booster crafting item you can put on to get even more out of the cards, and then what skills I'd recommend on the players too. So starting off, we're going to start off with Patrick Vieira. I have his previous big time, the Destroyer version, and that one is the best defensive player in the game. So we're going to take a look at the new one and see, is this new one going to be any better? So if we go on to eFootball Hub, you can see here, this is what his build looks like. If we take off the boost for a sec, this is what I have. You can see we have 85 speed and physical contact for the +3 boost. All the defensive stats to get us to 90. And then I do have 85 tie possession. It is quite high. I know most people aren't going to want that. I have it on my first build, but I will give build recommendations where you don't put the dribbling that high. So if you put the boost on, you can see here, this is what it looks like. We get all the defensive stats, 90 like I said, and then the 88 speed. So if you don't want the dribbling, just take a little bit off. It doesn't have to be too much. I would put at least a couple points in, and you can get the pass and up like that. And then realistically, I don't think the points really have to go elsewhere, because if you try go into dexterity, if we take off all the dribbling and passing, you can get it, but it's too much in my head, and I don't know what you're going to be doing with 90 acceleration on Patrick Vieira, especially as an anchorman anyway. So that's why I wouldn't do that, and I would go into the passing, because if we go into the passing just a little bit anyway, I do have some skills I'm going to be recommending later. So it doesn't really matter what level you have the dribbling and passing at specifically, but I would put a few points in. For the booster, what booster you're going to want to put on is, in my opinion, a dueling, because if you look at how many points we've invested the most into defending and lower body strength, so we want to use a booster that puts those stats on to get them points back and reinvest elsewhere. The problem with this is still though, and you can't fix this problem really, is you already have speed at 85 before any booster applied, so you can't take off any speed, because you're going to lose that +3. It's just not going to be too cost effective. But on defending, you're not going to have that problem. So if you put it on, we can take that one defending off, keep the full 90s, and then we can have more points to go in around here into dribbling. We can get back to that 88 type possession if we want, and we still have a few points into passing. So that's kind of the builds I would go for. Again, actually, let me show you the one without the dribbling. Because if you go without the dribble on this one, you can get 90 acceleration with the passing still, and you'd probably go like this, 2 off there and 2 there. But I don't know, I'm not going to notice 90 acceleration. I think the acceleration, the way we had it, I think it was about 85. I think that's the gap between speed and acceleration there is quite close, so it's going to be fine to use like that. Alright, so next we're going to compare it to the old big time Vieira, the Destroyer one, and I'm going to tell you if I think personally it's worth the upgrade or not. So if we look at the stats, there is quite a big difference. The first one that's jumping out is obviously the speed, and then we did put quite a bit of points into speed, to be fair, on the new Vieira, but it is a large difference. The dribbling is also a lot better on my build anyway, and surprisingly the passing is better on the old Vieira. You can see there the 88 low pass and 86 loss of pass. And to be honest, actually, from using this old Vieira, his passing is one of his better attributes. So in terms of how we play in game, I do feel like you're going to notice that lower passing. But obviously if you don't have this card, you're not going to notice anything. But I do feel like there will be a difference between the passing abilities of these players. But to be honest, I actually think, even though that Patrick Vieira, the Destroyer, I'm playing him as a centre back. So in my head, I'm kind of reviewing him from a centre back perspective. And the new one, I wouldn't play centre back really. I would play in DMF just because the play style is so strong at DMF. I actually do think passing is more important as a centre back Destroyer, but the way I play anyway, than an anchorman. The anchorman in my systems doesn't need to be great on the ball or a great passer. They need to be good on the ball. But the fact that they're an anchorman means they'll get free based on their play style anyway. So they don't need to be playing or don't need to have good dribbling to get free. They should just be in a good position. And passing wise, their only passing options really are short passes, maybe some long through balls on the ground, but don't really play crazy passes, so you don't need crazy good passing stats, which is why I think on the Anchorman version here, it's not going to be too much of an issue. But if you want to play the air centre back, and I do think he is the best centre back in the game, I do think this Destroyer version, I don't think he's better actually now that I think about it, just because of the speed. If the speed was the same level, I think this new one would be, or the old one would be better, because the speed is quite a big difference. I think the old one has to be, or the new one has to be better because you can just take the speed off and then go around. But yeah, so I actually think this Vieira is worth an upgrade. For the most part, like, if you're someone who spends a lot of money on this game, yeah, go for it. If you're somebody who's trying to be smart with their coins, no, it's not worth it. It almost never is worth upgrading from one version to another if you're someone who's trying to keep their coins and be smart with it. Personally, it's not enough for me to upgrade. Like, I'm looking at my Vieira, I'm very happy with my Vieira. I don't need there couldn't be many players. There couldn't be a player much better than my Vieira anyway, even if they had crazy stats in game, and it's not going to play that much better because this guy's almost perfect. So for me, it's not worth the upgrade, but there will be worth the upgrade for a lot of people. I think. I don't think it's like an unnoticeable change in the card. Okay, for the skills, you want to give him true passing, man marking, and track back for sure. Then after that, you can go for a gamesmanship or a cut behind and turn. I would consider low lofted pass, but mainly if you're going to play him centre back. I actually, you know what, even at DMF it'll be fine. I do think at centre back you'll use it more because you'll have more opportunities to play that long diagonal, do the left or right forward. At Anchorman DMF you still will have the opportunity to do it, just not as much. So those are the skills I would recommend for Vieira. So definitely a very good card, and obviously end game at the moment anyway. In a couple of years, I mean, end game is supposed to be mean you buy it forever and you can use it forever. To be honest, actually, I think with Vieira that is the case. I think even if you have normal legend Vieira, that Vieira will still be good. So I guess it is an endgame card, but we've had an endgame card Vieira since the game eFootball started, because you can use that normal legend and you'll still be very effective. Okay, next we're going to look at Xabi Alonso. Now this is the third or fourth version, I can't remember quite, that I've used or had. So I do have a lot of experience with this guy, and I don't think he's a good player at all, so we're not going to spend too long on him, but this is the build I would recommend. He's got quite a lot of ball control and tight possession, so in theory he should be good in the ball, but using his other cards, his balance isn't high, and he's kind of tall and heavy. He just doesn't feel good on the ball, so I don't know what to say really outside of that. Passing stats. Now, 88 low pass is as high as you need to take low pass. True passing will give a plus 20% boost to low pass according to the Chinese players, and I believe that. And anyway, I've played a lot of this game. I don't ever notice any improvement going above 88. But for lofted pass, I actually do notice improvement. I do feel like there is an improvement, at least up to 95. I don't know about half 95, but up to 95, I do notice an improvement. So that's why I went above on the passing stats there. Unfortunately, the passing stats are the same. So if you want to go and improve the lofted pass as much as possible, you're going to have to kind of waste points on the low pass. But if you want to get that lofted pass even higher, you can go like that and take the few points off defending. Actually, no, never mind. Yeah, we want to keep 1 point into aggression to get that +3 like that. Yeah, so you can do that and then maybe take off. Actually, you want to keep the curl as well. It's just, see, there's just too many problems with this card. I guess you could take speed off, get the 80, and then go to that. The reason you don't want to take the dexterity off is just because we've already said how bad is dribbling will feel because of the balance. We don't want to make the balance any worse. I guess you could take the dribbling off, but then as an orchestrator, you need dribbling. I don't know how someone can use an orchestrator and not be good in the ball, because every time you pass it into the orchestrator, if there's no passing option on, they're just going to lose the ball. They need to be either able to pass the ball or keep the ball, because they're going to receive the ball in dangerous areas under pressure. They're going to help. Whenever you have the ball, your orchestrator is going to come close to help you, the player on the ball. So when they take the ball, Perlo or Xabi Alonso in this case takes the ball off your fullback, he might be in trouble now. So he's kind of more confident in getting out of that, and then Xabi Alonso can't dribble in the game. So I don't think he's going to be too effective. Even it's like the third or fourth time they tried to release this Xabi Alonso card, they still won't make him good. If we look at what skills he has and what skills I would recommend on him, if we pull him up here, I think he definitely needs interception. Oh, he has interception, sorry. He does need track back, and I'm guessing cut behind and turn, gamesmanship, because I'm actually looking at his skills now. He actually has got quite a lot of good passing skills. It's not going to be a card that you have to put too much effort in to make him in theory good at what he does. Like, he has got good passing stats. So yeah, cut behind and turn, gamesmanship, track back. I guess you could throw man marking in, just because he is kind of clunky. And he's not going to be nimble, so you're not going to be able to make him too good going forward. So I guess you could go for man marking just to use that kind of height and weight of him to help out defensively. And then I guess a first time shot if he does get a late run into the box. But look, I've tried this guy like 4 different times. I think this is my 4th version of him. tried him for probably 200 games, and I can just never get along with him. Maybe it's just the way I like to play the game with my orchestrators, but if my orchestrator isn't good on the ball themselves, regardless of their passing abilities don't matter too much, because they're just, your opponents are going to mark your teammates silly to dribble past someone to get a free teammate usually. And that's why I don't like Xabi Alonso. And next we're going to go on to Thuram, who is, if I still haven't decided fully if I'm going for this pack or not, but if I do go for this pack, it's because of this guy. Because I've always said this guy is the most annoying player to play against in the game, and I think Vieira is the best defensive player in the game, but I actually think this guy is second. Maybe a Showtime Van Dijk or a Maldini would be second, but honestly I do think it is Thuram, and he's just so comfortable going forward as well on the ball. So if we look at his build, this is what I have here. So you can see that we actually, it's not like we have stats at 85 to get the +3. We have a lot of stats very quite a bit higher than 85. With the boosters on, you can go like this. Actually, sorry, there was one difference. We take off one dribbling and we get it into aerial strength to get the physical contact at 85 as well. So yeah, this is the build. It looks very, very good to me. I think there's no real changes you can do. I think you just want to kind of have it like this. I would like 95 tackling to get kind of up to that kind of next threshold, but then you would have to take off the dribbling and ball control, and I would like that dribbling high just in case I want to drive up the pitch with him. So for the booster, you would want to just put on probably dueling again, just to get that speed up, because the speed is what you've invested in the most. You can take that point off and then you can put it elsewhere, so you can go into dribbling or passing or whatever, it doesn't really matter. If I had to go somewhere, I'd probably just go defending just to make him, actually no, because the boost is giving him the 95 tackling, so I'd probably just go passing. I don't know, I really don't think anywhere you put those points is going to actually change how the guy feels. I think he's already at his level that he's at on these stats over here. So if we pull up Thuram's stats, or sorry, either skills, you can see that we're going to want to put aerial superiority for sure. That's just has to go on him first. We did give quite a lot of points into jumping, so he has to get aerial. Then go for one touch pass and true pass. I would probably go for low lofted pass as well for that diagonal ball, especially if you're playing him right back and Hull at left wing, or like, you know, wide second striker. That'll be perfect. And then I'd probably go for gamesmanship or cut behind and turn, whichever one you prefer, just to make him a little bit more comfortable on the ball. So overall, if you should go for this pack or not, well, first actually we'll compare it to the other version of Thuram. So if you look at the old Thuram and compare it to the new one, you can see they are pretty much the same card. The new one does have a little bit more balance and quite a little bit more physical contact, but I don't think you're going to notice that too much. And everywhere else on the card, it's pretty much like for like. So I think if you're looking at Thuram, I don't think it's worth upgrading from your old Thuram for the new one. For Vieira, I don't think it, like I said earlier, I don't think it is necessarily worth it. But if you are someone who likes to spend a lot of money on the game, I guess it makes sense for Vieira to upgrade. For Thuram, I don't think it makes any sense. It's just basically the same card. But for Vieira, if you just want to get that, you know, if you're willing to pay €150 to get a 1% better Vieira, that's your prerogative. You know, I'm not going to stop you from doing that. But I think it makes sense there. But I would advise against doing it for Thuram if you have the previous one, even if that would be, you know, 1% gain would be what you're willing to pay. I don't think it's going to actually be any improvement. If you don't have either Thuram or Vieira, this is a pack that you should strongly consider going for if you are someone who likes to spend money on the game. In the future, we should have two very interesting packs coming out as well. I think we know for sure an MSN pack with Messi, Suarez, Neymar is coming. You might want to hold on onto your coins for that. I do recommend going for attackers over defenders just because it's more fun. You have more fun scoring goals than stopping them from going in. But we also should be getting a Hullet Rijkaard Van Basten pack. Now that's not confirmed 100%. It's in the database, but that doesn't mean it's coming necessarily. If I had to pick between the packs, I do think Hullet is probably the best player out of them all, but Vieira and Thuram would be better than Rijkaard and Van Basten. So look, it's up to you. If you do spend your coins here today, you're not really going to regret it as long as you get at least one of the guys here. One of the French guys, that is, not Xabi Alonso. You don't want Xabi Alonso.